You're always so put together. I'm like, am I'm just probably, I've gotten good at fixing myself, which I would attribute to my talent in being alone with myself, with my thoughts. So yeah.
I'm sure anybody who knows you would say that you are in a different season in your life, right?
Very much so.
So what would you say, or when did you realize that you're beginning to turn a new leaf? And what do you think, what would you attribute that to?
Knowing myself more. I don't think it's a new leaf per se. I'm living my authentic self right now. This is who I am and supposed to be as a person. Sometimes life decides to break us to rebuild us, and that is what life has done to me. And it's rebuilt me to become who I'm actually meant to be, in all ways, mentally, spiritually, physically. I've been forced to take out time to know myself, to learn about myself, my weaknesses, my strengths, and work with those. So instead of dwelling on the pain, I'm working with the pain. I'm not focusing too much on what broke me. I'm focused on how strong the breaking made me. So yeah, I wouldn't say there's anything too different. I've evolved through the pain, through it all. I believe pain and whatever life throws at us is supposed to mold us. So that's where we are today.
Okay, so you said your thing is solitude, right? But do you think support group has any role to play in helping people recover from trauma or tragedy?
I think it differs with everybody. I'm naturally alone. I know that sounds weird. I know a lot of people, but I'm alone. I'm a social, antisocial person. So solitude works for me. Solitude might work for the next, my mom, my son, my biggest support groups, and the true friends that I have always remind me that your story is very valid. Whichever chapter you've got into, your story is still very valid.
Okay, thank you so much. So we're going to segue now into the proper role of community and society. I'm going to come to you, Dr. Kwesi, right? In Ghana, unfortunately, when you talk about mental health challenges, most people think you're talking about madness, right? But it's a whole spectrum. How can we as a society create safer spaces for people who want to open up and say, hey, I am going through something?
Okay, so it begins with having these conversations. So you can categorize them into where people work, where you fellowship, where you go to school. So HR managers have to, let me begin with work. HR managers have to create the environment for people to be able to voice out whatever.
How many have ever felt like slapping your HR before? We'll not put you on camera. We only want your HR to see you. But that's a very important point.
Yes, so in that, currently I'm dealing with something like that, where the HR manager is a woman and the lady is going through postpartum something. And the HR manager feels she has given birth before. So what are you talking about? So the environment at the workplace needs to be that accepting, and then you allow people to be able to voice out. Secondly, you can create the environment either in your school, in your mosque, the conversations have to be had. People have wrong notions about mental health, and that stigma has to be shattered. And it begins with a conversation. People must create room for people to be able to. For example, where I have an issue and I come and tell you, there are times you may not voice out what is on your mind. It's the way your face goes. Then I decide to come up. I wouldn't voice out. So individual, everyone here has a responsibility. You have to be that safe space for somebody. And it's by paying attention. Let all learn to listen well. there are people, we tend to interject quickly, we tend to offer solutions. Like we are just on the move to quickly give what we think is the best fit for the person. But let the person, and it's part of the therapy session, let the person voice out what they feel like it. Whatever is on your mind, try and shelve it, and then wait for the person to finish, and then voice out. Don't be judgmental. It's one of the things we've done, and especially for our church folk, we quickly in our minds open the Bible and look for a verse to quickly counter whatever the person is saying. I'm not saying the word doesn't work, it works, but you have to not be judgmental. There's something as correcting someone in love, but more often than not, we do not do it that way. We are quick to either say, "Oh, heaven and hell." You know, we are quick. We are looking for a reward punishment system to offer, and that doesn't help. And let me use this case for teachers who are here. Maybe you are dealing with children, preschool, whatever. A 9-year-old reported, and then this is somebody who has been fine growing up. One of the days he went to class. In class, I think he pooped on himself, and the teacher shamed him, lashed him on top in front of the whole class. And this child, over the next 3 months, sees a very steep decline in their academic. When they reported, we realized that pooping on himself was just as a result of the child having a generalized seizure. It was a non-convulsive seizure. So we are beating the child, shaming the child for nothing. There are some of the things we have to look at in a very holistic context. This is not normal. What has changed? And from that, when we begin having good conversations, then we approach the parents and say, "Oh, this is what happened. I don't think your son does this on the normal. Let's investigate, let's find out what it is." It could even be sexual abuse going on somewhere. And we are beating the child in class so it's double punishment. And it's not necessary. So some of these things have to be looked at. But like I keep saying, let us have the conversation on social media, on whatever. And I think on social media, everybody seems to have an answer for almost everything. And I see some recommendations and I tremble. I'm like, what's going on here? So if you do not know, you commiserate with the person. Do not be.
Not forgetting. It's not about forgetting the pain. It's about learning how to live beautifully despite the pain.
Thank you. Okay, so to my left, Dr. Haffel, what does healing together mean to you personally?
Healing together is recognizing that you're not alone in any situation you're going through. And the only way you know is to talk to somebody else about it. Thank you.